Good afternoon from the south shore of the Hood Canal. I'm here in Union, Washington, the home of my home and Yellow Ribbon Homes. And I see many people are taking you into their homes as we are sequestered and staying close at hand. This is the very last afternoon that my husband's crew will be able to work, and they're on their way homes right now. So I thought I would take you on a tour of our home. I'm going to switch this camera around so you can see, but I'll be right back. I'm going to start right here with our cargo trailer, which is the envy of everybody. We can store all sorts of tools in here. Hooks up to my husband's truck, comes with us very often. We have a 2-car garage here with an upstairs attic area that is filled with paint that we get free from the Household Hazardous Waste Transfer Station. We make our own paint mixes whenever we can, and we call this the Olympic paint. This is our home here. Across the street is a house that we caretake for. We have tools stored in there as well. That's called Maggie's Hardware. Here you will see a tree, redwood tree, came down a few weeks ago. Came right into the road that this car is coming down. This is State Highway 106. So the tree thankfully went into the street, missed our house, missed the neighbor's house, missed my car here. Welcome to our home. All this concrete that you see stacked up here used to be right along the foundation, and the foundation sill plate was completely rotten because the water was sloping towards it. So it took a lot of repair to get our foundation solid. We've got storage here, keeping track, and we have mini split heat pumps. That's how we're heating and cooling the house as of last summer. Before that, we just had portable heaters for 2 winters while we lived here. We had a giant fireplace inside the house, and you will see here is the remnants of the chimney that we still have not hauled away. This is part of what living in a reno zone is. You look like the junkiest house in the neighborhood for a very long time until you're done. And then you look like the best house in the neighborhood. Thankfully, people here are tolerant and they understand the look of progress. What I'm walking on now used to be more of this concrete that had to be removed, and then it was pallets for a couple winters. And this is a brand new front door, just about a month old. We used to enter into the house here through a single door, which has now been replaced with a sliding door. As you can see, we have an incredible view. Those are the Olympics across the way. The high peaks are covered with clouds. But there's this little town of Hoodsport across from us. We have here on the bottom level of our garage, we have a little boathouse. And I'm going to take you down to the beach. Got some ducks right here on shore. Just looks like some mallards right now. But we have mergansers and buffleheads. Quite a few other, well, maybe those are the mergansers here. So my husband likes to find the branches and trees that float down after the storms and bring them up on our shoreline for a little more of a natural look. We also seem to collect boats that float down shore as well. This one here is waiting on its owner to pick it up. The other one has been here so long, the sheriff signed it over to us. So here, these little doors open. We can pull our kayaks in and out. We have 300 feet of shoreline, about an acre of property. This is the floating platform that many of you have seen pictures of seals out there when I've posted them on Facebook. And we're looking down to the Skokomish River estuary and tribal lands in this direction where it's beginning to rain. As you can see, we have a very cool little deck that extends out onto the beach over the water. And this is our house from the water side. We have a basement level, a main level, and an upper level with a catio. It's completely screened in including the roof area so that cats don't get swiped by bald eagles. More natural trunks, courtesy of Kevin Warner. So right now it's fairly low tide, so I'm able to walk on the beach. Tides fluctuate twice a day, and they can come up underneath that platform. Been doing my best to pull out invasive ivy and try to get this vinca under control. This is a ground cover that is very invasive as well, and it's choking out some of our natives here, which are some Nootka roses and some Oregon grape, which I'm trying to give them a little bit more room. So I'm heading up some steps into a yard that's in constant flux. A lot of these plants are just native things that have grown up. Our septic system leach area is here, and when they fixed it, there were a number of plant seeds in the dirt mix, I think, that just came up all over the place. Again, more of what we tear out still has to wait for us. The things that can be recycled to the wood recycling we take, otherwise we give the wood to people that can burn it for fires. Been doing a lot of pruning of dead limbs and dead trees. We've got some roses over here bordering the neighbor's property and some steps up to the road. We'll be rebuilding some steps there, and then this area here where these boards are will be a deck that we had to take out to redo our septic system a couple years ago before we could move in. We've lived here a little over 2 years, and we've owned the property a little more than 3 years. It took a lot to make it livable before we could come in. There is a door to nowhere, but eventually we'll be able to put a small porch and steps back in. The septic tanks are located here under this rug, which is working to cut down on the weeds. So there were a lot of old plantings here, very overgrown and neglected, so I've been trimming back what's dead and hoping that the rest will live. This is our basement. I'm going to go back upstairs and take you in through the front door. Storage of sandbags. We were not sure how much water would come into the house in the winter high tides. It has come in, but it hasn't come from the actual tide. It's come in from the high water table. So we have a very extensive system of trenches and alarms and sump pumps to keep the water out. This will also be we'll be redoing some of those steps, and we'll be putting in a deck and a more covered porch. So welcome to the home of the Warners and Yellow Ribbon Homes. You've come into our brand new little mudroom entry here with heated tile floors, which will be just glorious in the winter time. And as you can see, we just have a really incredible, lovely view. You can see out to the street. Kevin usually parks in front of the garage. We can see the mountain range. This is the dining area here, living room, and there's the kitchen. This entry area used to be the kitchen. It was back here in a corner, and you were cooking right back against a wall. So we relocated everything, put it into another area of the house. We have a utility room here. These are cabinets from the last house that we lived in before we redid the kitchen there. Put those in. This is a luxury vinyl plank floor from Mohawk, available at Costco. We've done almost the entire upstairs and the basement levels with it. It's a waterproof for 24 hours, a really, really nice product. This is a brand new bathroom. This bathroom didn't exist before. So we've got a walk-in shower. We've got a nice narrow IKEA sink system here so that we can, it's not a completely accessible house, but we wanted to be able to make this level accessible for people who are visiting that had mobility issues. So we wanted them to have a nice clear entrance into the bathroom. So that's something to think about as you're thinking about how you can age in place. And I'm going to show you, I'm so excited about this toilet. Flat sides, so it doesn't have all those pipes to clean, which are so incredibly annoying. This is an American Standard. I think it was about $300, but completely worth it in cleaning. And this cabinet here used to be a hall tree, and it was yellowish, fake wood, and I painted it myself and used it for towel storage and just cute shelving. Here's another cabinet that we have used in previous houses and really like. That's also IKEA. We're big IKEA fans. We really like their hinges, particularly. They're nice, soft close. So we've put pocket doors in everywhere so you can close off that bathroom, can close off the utility room so you don't have to see it when you walk in. We've got charging station plugs here. And now onto the living room. Fun thing about the living and dining area, when we sold our last house in Gig Harbor, I had purchased some furniture for it and staged it, and the buyers liked it so much that they wanted to buy it. So we sold it to them and we moved here, and we had a picnic table that we were using. This couch is from the 90s. That was our first sofa bed in our first home. We had it down in our playroom for years. Our youngest daughter took it to college. She gave it back to us. I bought a cover for it, but put another blanket on because the cats like to hang out here. So that was something we had. But this dining table and these chairs here, I've recovered them, but they were gifts, as well as this recliner massager from a client who was moving and was down to the wire and had no room in his new house. So we scored some furniture that we really needed, which is great. We've got some more IKEA shelving here that we bought 8 years ago when we moved to Bainbridge Island, and we've taken it with us. And back here, all my artwork, it's really fun. It's a photograph my husband took. You got a lot of glare here, so I can't show you. Another one my daughter took when she was studying art and photography in college. A painting from my dear friend Tara Trueblood, which is also the cover of my first book of poetry, Burnt Offerings. And this is a painting that Tara and I made to stage in our Gig Harbor house. So we had a nice big painting. I bought a really ugly painting at the Goodwill, sprayed it, the frame, with Rust-Oleum silver paint, and then used the latex from the household hazardous waste. And we just had fun with no plan and just made what we were going to make. These are photos that Kevin took that we've had printed on canvas. This is a project that I was experimenting on. We took out 11 doors when we lived on Bainbridge Island 8 years ago, and we're going to make a fence out of them. So did all kinds of fun painting with them. Got rid of most of them, gave them away to people, as we ended up selling before we put up the fence. But that's one that's left. And another one that's left is this really cool still life by Jairus Baker, an artist and married to Kevin's cousin. So, and this table here was, the root system was made, found, and then these turquoise pieces were put in by the former owner of my brother-in-law's house. And my brother-in-law lives just down the road, and he graciously gave us this table. We staged it in our Gig Harbor house, and then we brought it here. And this beautiful piece of metal sculpture, something that my mother made. So I have a very long line of crafty humans in my life, and we just keep living in a reno zone and bring things back to life. So here is our kitchen. One thing that you probably don't have in your home is a dustpan that, I mean, you can see my shoe. I just got to show you how big this dustpan is. A very giant dustpan. Contractor size. We love lights, so we put in ceiling lights wherever we can. You can see here. We've got them on dimmers, and we've got a lot of natural light coming in, but it can get really dark here in the winters and the long, long days. So we especially want to avoid that seasonal affective disorder. I wanted to show you a couple cool things back here in the living room. And one is we've got a mounted projector for a television and a screen up on, mounted right below the ceiling, that comes down and covers the window so we can watch television large. It's fun for football games, and not have to have a TV in the way in this beautiful space, because we certainly wouldn't want one. We've got ceiling fans for circulation. And these kitchen cabinets are the ones that were original to this house. The countertops we brought with us from Gig Harbor. They were black and white, and we had already bought brand new gray appliances, and that was just a lot of darkness. So I used more of my free transfer station paint, painted the tops, put a little Varathane on it. We had already caulked here, so after a year or so, this started peeling off. But these are temporary countertops, but they've certainly made me happy, and they really pick up the colors of the water, as you can see. So my husband also put the kitchen sink so I would have an incredible view while I'm doing dishes. And here, where this photograph is, a window is going to go in there later when we do the final kitchen remodel. This originally was the bathroom, and the bathroom had a greenhouse window right next to the toilet, looking right onto the deck. So we decided none of that was any good. We're eventually going to spray these cabinets white. I know some people think that's criminal. I'm not a big fan of dark wood, and I have these lovely new appliances, but it's just too gray and brown for me. So we're going to change that up. Our carpet was donated to us also. Family that moved, we put in new carpet for them when they bought their house, and they didn't want the old carpet, so we've got some rooms carpeted thanks to them. These are my two cats. They're indoor ferals. This is Tux. He was a rescue that we've had for 3 years. This is Malika. She's a Bengal. She came from the UC Davis Research Colony, and she was born in December of 2010. So she is 9. We have a brand new kitty you'll see upstairs. So eventually this will be how you get back out onto the deck here. And this wall, these are a gift cabinet and a gift dresser. This will be a pantry, and we will have sliding doors covering that. This is the stairs leading up to the upper levels of the house. I'll go there last because when I see the cat, she'll probably want to have some attention. So this is the basement. It used to be mostly unfinished. There was a bathroom down here that drained into a gravel pit. Our septic system had completely failed and cracked and was polluting the sound and the Hood Canal. It was really quite terrible. So we have done some fun things here. We got a really great deal on exterior siding. So we have put up exterior siding on our interior walls. This is how it comes, primed. It hasn't been painted yet. We will be redoing these stairs. We've got brand new electrical panels. Lots more amps and circuits available to us. This is called Christmas Lane. My husband's mother made this gorgeous set for us that we used to have out on the street when we lived in Boulder Creek, California, and we will hope to put them back up soon. And on this wall, we turned the siding upside down, and it made natural bracketing for shelves. And all these boxes are also gifts from my mother-in-law, who each year would give everyone in our immediate family an item for a Christmas village. We even have a Christmas Home Depot. We've got a lot of shelving here. The shelves are not as full as they used to be, but this eventually, when Kevin doesn't have to do a ton of remodeling in the house, this will just be his little interior workshop. We've got sliding glass barn doors that you can't use right now, but we're using the basement here mostly has been a place to saw things. Our crew's been working in our house most of the winter because we didn't have paid work. So this whole area that I'm walking in now was set up with saws, and we had a lot of work going on in here. But there's the barn door system. And we've got a really nice little view in the basement here. Lots of windows. And this is a brand new sliding door. There was one here before. And it goes out onto this patio where we have the sandbags just to make sure we don't flood. But we do have a sump pump here and exterior drain in the corner behind it. So this is a deck that I have painted with deck over. I think it's a discontinued product, and I did that 2 summers ago, and I can see it already needs another coat. So none of these products are permanent when you're working with wood, but it is really fun to sit out here and watch what's going on. We've got a little merganser hanging out on the floating platform there, being joined by a seagull. So we have a little bit of road traffic that you can hear. It's more on weekends. This is a road that people would take to get over to the staircase area of the Olympic National Park. But one gets used to it, and especially if you're inside with the doors closed, you don't really hear it. But when you're outside, you don't really care because you get to look at all of this amazing view. This raised area was originally the laundry. It's now going to become a kitchenette and a little bar area. We'll have some stools here. And this is going to be the family room downstairs. We've got this, you can see the flooring now put down here. This isn't covered with the ram board. So that's what this is here. It's not cardboard, it's ram board. It comes in rolls, and it is a really great way, because we are always working on the next project. Once we put our flooring down, it's not safe to leave it uncovered. So we get to look how beautiful it is for a few minutes, take a picture, and then roll out the ram board on it. And the ram board is pretty indestructible, and we leave it down for months. And when we are finally done, we'll take it off, but it makes a nice protective. Then you don't have to tarp the entire floor when you're doing things like painting or putting in your ceiling lights and putting your sheetrock up. So we're going to have this fun little kitchenette here. We're going to be installing a sink. We've got a apartment-sized refrigerator. Nice little view. And we've got all our plumbing. Down here we've also got a mini split on each level of the house. In here is where the old bathroom used to be. It's now a laundry room, water heater, got a nice big laundry sink. That was here. Down here is our sump pump systems that keep things pumping. This is the new bathroom downstairs. So we've got a walk-in shower. We have a sauna that we've taken with us that we bought when we lived on Bainbridge Island in probably 2013. So the bathroom's been designed to be big enough for the sauna. Here's the rest of the flooring that we haven't put down yet. This is an amazing toilet here. Oh, look, I've got a whole 12-pack of toilet paper. I could sell that if we run low on funds. This is an amazing toilet. Because we're in a basement, to put a waste line in would have required digging through the concrete foundation and laying pipe, and it would have been astronomically expensive. So this is called a macerating toilet, which is basically like a garbage disposal in a toilet. So this big pipe goes to a box behind this wall, and inside there is a grinder which grinds up solid waste, grinds up toilet paper, liquefies everything, then jets it up through the ceiling. Our pipes run into the ceiling here. They're all boxed in. I'm now in our little guest room, but the pipes are all boxed here. And then they run to the outside and go into the septic system. So if any of you have a basement and you're wondering how you could easily have a toilet down there, it's a great solution, because the rest of the plumbing for a shower and a sink is not that difficult, but it's the toilet that has the clogging problems. So we are just really excited about that. And I love the sides of it again because it doesn't have all the pipes and you can clean it really, really well. So this is a guest room. furniture from that same family that was running out of room. So we have a cute little double captain's bed in here and another one of their spalted maple dressers. And I think it's just a cute little room. I've got some art to hang up that's not up yet. This is a photo that I took that's on canvas. And then we've got the painting that my mother-in-law did. So this room is not put together yet. We have shelves here, but we've lost the shelf pins that need to go in and cannot find them. And this is the life of remodelers. We have stacks and stacks of things in tubs and bins everywhere. And we'll find them once we buy new ones and put those back together. But the mini split heat pump doesn't bring heat into this room. So we've got this really nice heater that's on the wall. It's completely silent and you can touch it. It never gets hot to the touch. So it's safe to have around children. And it's just got a little dial on the top. We had our new kitty that we had down here for a week, and it was freezing that week and it was just a little cold down here on the floor because that heat rises. So we've got a flat panel ceramic heater as well that is also really nice. And this is what we used to heat our upstairs for the first 2 winters. One of the rooms, we didn't have any heat except portable heat for 2 winters while we lived here. And we used those to stay warm. So here's what the siding looks like in this room where it's been painted rather than just primed. And this is, again, a mix of colors that, not the trim. The trim is a Behr Marquee product, but the other paint is something that we've mixed up from the transfer station. So you're allowed to get about 10 containers of paint at a time, and I just go by every now and then, every few months when I'm in the area. They're open on Thursday through Saturday, and if there's colors that look like they're going to be good, I get them. We put them into 35-gallon buckets and use a drill that's got about a 2.5-foot long rod on it, and mix it up and then in a clean 35-gallon trash can, and then we pour it into a clean 5-gallon bucket, and we have our own paint mix. So I have now painted the inside of two entire homes plus more with free paint. So that has been really, really exciting and inexpensive. So thanks for going on this tour with me. I know a lot of you cannot come to see our house, and some of you don't even know us personally, but it's, I think, always fun. I like to give the tours. We have, I didn't show you on the living room, but we have some supplemental heating too. These are, I've forgotten the names of them now, but they're Cadet. That's what they are. They're Cadet. You've probably seen a lot of older homes that have the old Cadet wall heaters. These are newer ones. They're really nice and energy efficient. And they have a plug in each one. So you can plug in your vacuum. Or, you can't put things right up against them if they do get warm. But you can have drapes above them. And that all works out really nicely. We've used those to heat our apartment that we had in Bainbridge Island. So this is a brand new stair case. There were stairs here, but we've rebuilt this part of it. As you see when we turn the corner, we have not done the rest of it yet. So this is our temporary staircase. Hello, Malika. Handrails, important. So this is mostly what we've had for a while, is insulation. But when we first moved in, my husband put weed cloth over all the walls, and so I've had puffy padded walls because he didn't want me to have to look at the ugly insulation all the time. It was very, very sweet of him to do that. He didn't do it on the ceiling. So for about 2 years, this is what I saw over my head in our bedroom while I was sleeping. And if you'll notice, the phone number for RMAX is there. I never did call it, but sometimes I thought I should. This is not our master bedroom, but this is a 2-bedroom house. And this is the second bedroom. And they're both upstairs. So this room is the multi-purpose room. This is the room that we heated for the 2 winters that we lived here when we didn't have central heat. We had the portable heaters in here. So this was our Sorry for the bad jump cut there. My video went out and I didn't know it till I was looking at it later. So I am back in the multi-purpose room where we basically ate dinner, watched television here, the closet. We turned into a little TV nook. Right now we're getting a taste of what usually happens around sunset, is that the skies clear up. We get some lovely light, sun pouring in these rooms upstairs, well, all along the water. We have some really nice shades that are mounted to the outside of the house. I'll demonstrate one for you. To block. Well, I think I'm going to demonstrate it. I guess my battery's dead. Anyway, we have shades with, here's the remote for it, automatic shades that are mounted on the outside of the house on all those windows, because this is lovely. It's March, but we get a lot of solar gains. So in the summer, it's just way too hot. So you have to close the curtains for a little bit. But the kind of curtains we have, you can see out of. And so you can still see outside. We got those at Costco as well, but then we custom ordered sizes that were right for our windows. So you can see these windows. Maybe you can see in the video. They're failing. They're almost all the double pane windows here have failed. But this is my bookcase. I've narrowed down all my books to this many, which is fabulous for a person who had about 5 times that many in 2011. This area here in the room is Yellow Urban Homes head CEO right there. President, actually. And yep, that's where Kevin does all his paperwork when he's not out with the guys working. So we've got long hallway between the 2 bedrooms. There is a guest room downstairs, but technically it's a 2-bedroom house because it's on a septic system that's only rated for 2 bedrooms. We didn't have room to expand when we remodeled. So this screen is to keep our new addition in. And then my other video did continue at the bathroom. So you can just look up here in the hallway. We've got a lot of storage because the ceiling's so high up here. So we've got all our suitcases. We're going to put some panels in front of those at some point in time. And all this plywood here is shear wall for strength. So it's turning into a very sturdy house, and it's going to be fabulous when it's done. And part of what we had on the walls, in addition to the weed cloth, were some architecture projects of our youngest daughter, who's now a licensed architect. We took a lot of them down when we put up the sheetrock, but it was nice to be able to see her work for a long time. And I've got one more piece of art up here, which is an abstract that I did at our last house to go above our bed. All right, on to the next room. Well, I think I must have reached the limit on my video, so I'm starting over again. I'm here headed up to the bathroom on the main floor. This is the original tub shower that was here. It's in decent shape, but it's very worn, and we're going to take it out. We're going to tile the walls. We're going to take out this skylight because the sun just beats in. It's in really bad shape, but it just beats in. But I am going to put a window here so that you'll be able to see out while you're taking a shower. We'll put it up above, so if anyone was out kayaking, they wouldn't be able to see in. There's space here for double sink, and this is something new that we put in. I don't think it's going to be our final sink because it's a little longer than what we want. We're going to put in an IKEA system that we put in our Gig Harbor house. But these are medicine cabinets that we brought over. And this is, you know, the old school toilet with all that stuff to clean. So now you know why I like the new sleek ones so much. But the funny thing about this bathroom is when you are on the toilet, you have a pretty incredible view. We've blocked it a little bit with our catio, but pretty nice view from back here. These are new light fixtures from Costco. And we use, I'll show you this, we use so that is the bathroom fan. It's also a heater, so it's a whisper warm. And you see here how quiet it is. You know, a lot of them you turn on and it sounds like airplane hangar. We really like it. And then, so that's the heater for this room because the mini split doesn't come in here. But each bedroom has a mini split heat pump. Hello, Maggie. Welcome. Let us in, please. Thank you. This is the master bedroom I've got a sheet over the quilt because cat litter, right? But it's a nice big space. Turn on the lights here. So we put in a ceiling fan. There was a beam running the opposite direction. There was a beam that ran right over the bed, and it wasn't holding up the house like it was supposed to. It was running the wrong direction. So we redid that. So we've replaced some of the we put drywall in here where there wasn't, but some of it we haven't done on this other side because we're not finished yet with all the jacking up that the house has to have done. So that's another painting by my mother-in-law. So you can see we've just got things kind of stacked here and there, but it's quite a spacious room, big enough for us and the cats. And then this is the closet that was here. So it's a nice deep walk-in, plenty of room. And even though we keep moving, we still seem to have a lot of clothes. I keep trying to get rid of more. Futon from that same family that was moving. And my little exercise bike station here where I can pedal away and look out the windows, which is great on the rainy days, especially living on the highway. I don't like to walk along the highway very often. And here's a view from this window. So I'll take you out and show you the catio. This needs to be rebuilt because it leaks. And we've stopped the leak, but there was water damage going down into the ceiling of the main floor. But this is, I've painted this with a gecko decking product. It was just asphalt shingling, and you can see it's very rumpled and not very... It needs to be completely torn out, but it's in okay shape now. I've sealed it for the winter. But we've got screening here all through the sides and up at the top to keep the cats in and to keep the eagles out, so that our cats can have a safe place to hang out and enjoy the fresh air and the sunshine. The only bummer about it is that this does interfere with my photography. But I work around it. I usually take my pictures down there on that deck. So, we'll listen to the water lapping. And I think that is pretty much the entire house. So thank you, as we're all staying home and staying healthy and sheltering in place and doing all those other things to keep one another safe. Once my husband's home for a few weeks and catches up on his paperwork, who knows, he and I might do some more remodeling on our own. Wishing you all well. I'm back down in the living room again just to show you some things I forgot in the first round. Where you see this cardboard above the old windows and below is actually the new windows are going to take up that entire space. Didn't point it out before, but none of these windows open. And we get extremely hot in the summer, and you can also see they're failing. That rainbow look should not be inside. So we're going to put opening windows there on the bottom, topped by larger, flat, solid glass windows on the top. And that'll be great for people who are taller than me. They will be able to see the mountains when you're able to see the peaks. They are above the current view line if you are over about 5'4". The other thing I am able to show you now is the automatic shades that come down. You're going to see how they're going to block the light, but we're still going to be able to see out. And the whole wall operates off the same remote. So now it's quite pleasant in here. You can still see out, but you don't have the blinding glare and the solar gain. So just another product. I should get some bonus points from there, some discounts from these companies. But I just like to share these things that we find because we're always looking for solutions to make it just more exciting and easier to live in our homes. So that's it for me.